I guess the experience of being here in the studio isn't like anything that I would have expected to have as a violin maker. Typically in every shop that I've worked in, the repair people, the instrument maker people are always shoved back into like a corner. And so having a studio that's, on street level, with all these windows, I kind of call it a fishbowl. It's something that's, with such public access, is something that I am certainly not was not used to. I guess since, especially when I first got here, it was really strange, and it's not quite normal by any means yet, but I'm getting used to it. I guess for me, one really striking experience at the studio was in the first week that I was here, I had two people independently walk in, and this was before I had everything like really set up. It wasn't kind of blatantly obvious that this was a violin shop, and so two people walk in on this first week, and they walk in, they're looking around, and they ask, "So what are you doing here?" And so I told them I'm a violin maker, and they kind of look a little confused, and they said, "Oh, I didn't know people did that anymore." And so, which I, of course, initially reacted kind of like, "Oh, how could you not know that?" But in sort of, being here and being in the experience and having this experience has put me around a lot more of, I guess, non-musician types that would have never walked into a violin shop unless it was just on the corner of Park and Broadway. And so in that regard, the experience has been very good because I get to talk to people that aren't, in the business, if you will, and it sort of has given me a different perspective, at least locally anyway, for sort of the level of not really information, but the level of familiarity with what I do. Not many people around here are familiar with it, so it's in that regard, it's been really good to be here, so people can see that there is a guy that makes violins, and he's just a guy making violins.